inverse trigonometry functions. The sine of 30 degrees is a half, or 0.5. So, if the ratio of the opposite to the hypotenuse is 0.5, the angle must be 30 degrees. This is true for any angle. If we know the ratio of the opposite side to the hypotenuse, we can find the angle. The sine function will give the ratio of the opposite to the hypotenuse from the angle.
That's pronounced sine, of course.
The inverse of sine will give the angle from the ratio. The inverse sine function gives the angle if you know the ratio of the opposite over the hypotenuse. It's really the answer to the question, what angle has a sine of this number? Sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. Inverse sine of 0.5 is 30 degrees. Sine of 45 degrees is 0.7071. Inverse sine of 0.7071 is 45 degrees.
And of course, it's the same with the other inverse trigonometry functions.
Tan of 30 degrees is 0.3640. Inverse tan of 0.3640 is 30 degrees. Cos of 75 degrees is 0.2588. Inverse cos of 0.2588 is 75 degrees. The inverse function can be written and said in different ways. Inverse sine.
The inverse sine of 0.5 is 30 degrees.
Sine to the minus 1.
Sine to the minus 1 of 0.5 is 30 degrees.
Or arc sine.
Arc sine of 0.5 is 30 degrees.
Learn how to use the inverse trigonometry functions on your calculator.
The Windows calculator has a checkbox labelled IN for inverse. Other calculators might have an inverse or an arc button. Or you might have to press a shift key for the inverse.
Try finding the inverse sine of 0.5.
0.5 inverse sine equals.
If you get 30, you know you're doing it right.
Exercise 1. A 4-metre ladder leans against a wall. Its feet are placed 1.2 metres from the base of the wall. What angle does it make with the floor?
We know the adjacent and the hypotenuse. This means we know the cosine of the angle.
Cosine of alpha is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1.2 over 4. So alpha is cos to the minus 1 of 1.2 over 4, or inverse cos of 1.2 over 4, or arc cos of 1.2 over 4. And we enter 1.2 divided by 4 equals inverse cos, or inverse cos bracket 1.2 divided by 4 in bracket equals. So alpha equals 72.5 degrees. Exercise 2. A 2.4 metre plank is used as a ramp up to a 1 metre stage. What angle does the plank make with the floor?
Now we know the opposite and the hypotenuse.
Sine of alpha is the opposite over the hypotenuse, or 1 over 2.4. So alpha is sine to the minus 1 of 1 over 2.4, or inverse sine of 1 over 2.4, or arc sine of 1 over 2.4. We enter 1 divided by 2.4 equals inverse sine, or inverse sine bracket 1 divided by 2.4 in bracket equals. So our angle alpha is 24.6 degrees. Example 3. A ship is 20 kilometers west of another ship which is travelling due north. The captain wants to intercept or meet the other ship at a point 12 kilometers to the north, shown by the cross on the map. At what bearing or angle from the north should the captain steer his ship? The tangent of alpha is the opposite over the adjacent, which is 12 over 20, which equals 0.6. So alpha is tan to the minus 1 of 0.6, or the inverse tan of 0.6, or arc tan of 0.6. So we enter 0.6 inverse tan equals, which is 31 degrees.
But that's not what we want to know. We want the angle from the north. That would be 90 degrees minus 31 degrees.